everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, along with
CJ Lou from the Fire Up with CJ show. Woo!
Oh my God.
Is that better?
Yes, you have certainly raised your energy level. If you've ever wanted to use the law of attraction and manifest your dreams, then do we have the power of intention and maybe of woohoo show for you. Today we'll talk about setting your intentions, when to do it, why you should do it, how often to do it, and why now with the solar eclipse is the absolute best time to do it in the world. That plus we'll talk about 10 days till Duke, drumming in public, the magic of groups, a glimmer of what's to come, Franken women, slow and steady growth, getting speedy, why being number 4 is the greatest gift in the world, and what kayaks and an eclipse have to do with one another. So welcome to the show, CJ. Are you ready to shine?
I am ready to shine.
Oh my gosh. Woohoo!
There was one too many woohoos that you had me do in the beginning. Look what you've caused.
So for everybody watching, this is something I learned from Jessica last year when we were doing group coaching. We would start all of our group coaching, and we'll have group coaching in like 3 weeks or a month. So if you want to partake in the woohooedness, you'll get to do this. But she would have us drop and do 10 woohoos. Mm-hmm. And there's something special. Well, you can attest to this. What happens when you do 10 woohoos in a row?
The people in body language say that when you raise your hands up, that it actually lifts the energy for the audience as well as the speaker. And so it elevates your energy.
Is your energy elevated? For those who can't see on audio, we may have to rope you down and take away the helium.
You did too many woohoos. I was on when you have that edge between sleepiness and woohoo-ness, and it's just like a fraction of an adjustment, and you can just be tipped to the other side.
This is, I guess, the difference between being overtired and loopy.
Yes, I'm on that. I'm on that spectrum.
You've crossed over to the loopy side. Okay, so I want to talk about power intention today and manifesting things. You've got 10 days till Duke. How do you see it going? What visualization work have you done to make this go kind, gentle, easy, and good?
Well, you know what? I'm taking this writing group, which I told you about a couple weeks ago, which is to help me get, I don't even know what it's for, frankly. I was just inspired to do it. Mm-hmm. I've done it without really, that's how my life always goes. I feel led to do it.
Go with the flow.
I go with the flow. I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm there, but I'm, participating to the best of my abilities. Mm-hmm. And what I found is that it's really hard to write. It's just been hard to squeeze in the time with the many other things that I'm working on. Just like yourself, I have like a bajillion projects rolling at the same time. I have the radio interview. I have these new group coaching sessions that I've been doing and going to be adding some new group sessions. I've had actual sessions that I'm performing. And then meeting with people who approach me from who knows where and doing my regular life coaching business. So my life is full. But I've been writing. My life is full and I've been writing. I was given a writing prompt to come up with my anticipatory phobias or fears associated with my son leaving. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, I have more clarity with exactly what I'm leaving behind. Because there's a lot that you lose when your kid leaves, because there's a loss of ritual, there's a loss of family structure. Mm-hmm. Because my husband and I have had a shared mission. So we've been on this great organizational drive, the two of us, in setting this family, and we're kind of instantly required to retire,
Well, but you've still got, let's give your other son the benefit of the doubt.
4 years, we're going to retire. It's like, that you're going to retire in 2 years, like with any great retirement, you kind of know that you're retiring, so you don't have to do anything. But for us, like we're figuring out what is our shared mission going forward, and we've always had our spiritual practice, so that's on the horizon, and that looks really exciting, and I can see all the possibilities with that. But it's still sad because you have kind of the nostalgia and nostalgic feeling about what you're leaving behind. Yeah. But what intentionally I want to do is to continue having a shared mission. They've done research that shows that couples that thrive are ones that actually have a shared mission. So I found that to be true, and I want to continue doing that. So that's one intention that we have both set together. And then, yes, and then there's a loss of self, but like in that emptiness, there's a gaining of a new self. So I definitely feel like, some of my responsibilities, of which there are so many. When you're a parent, you're a lifeguard, you're a protector, you're an administrator, you're a project manager. You have all these things that fill your day. And as some of those things get halved because my son is leaving, I'm able to open up to new things, which is why all these new things have emerged. And it's hard for me to write. So, yeah, and my intention for those new things is that they feel fun and meaningful and give me freedom. That's basically so fun, freedom, meaning, and a shared mission with my husband. Those are some of the things that, as I've been writing and I've been discovering what I'm leaving behind, I want to continue. And then there's some of the things that we talked about last week, like vacation. Kids force you to take a vacation. Kids force you to be a kid again. You end up riding tricycles and playing superheroes, and your creativity and imagination are just expanded because that's what they need. And therefore, you bring up those aspects of yourself. Now, if the kids are gone, I can still continue doing that. I don't need them as a reason for that process to continue and grow and flourish. So in writing, I've been discovering all the different things that I feel I could potentially lose, but then making sure that I don't by being intentional about bringing those things in the forefront. So that's my work, has been writing and getting clear about what this recapitulation of things that I had that I don't want to lose, things that I gladly lose, like carpools and making lunches and then buying school shoes. Like, I'm gladly will lose all of that. But there's stuff that, keeping a tight sangha with our family, keeping a shared mission with my husband. Those are things that I want to continue.
Awesome.
How about you? Like, you're facing a different time in your life. That's what's so interesting. You're literally starting the journey as my journey is ending.
Yeah. So this fall we were going to be starting the journey of intentionality to raising a family, and so daily right now, particularly coming up to the eclipse, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. We had on an amazing expert, Dr. Michael Lennox, talking about this a couple days ago. And if you didn't catch that episode, for everybody and for CJ, you want to hear this. It's really important.
Is it on YouTube already?
I don't know if it's out on YouTube by the time this is aired, it absolutely will be. Okay. So it'll probably be out on YouTube. We're recording this 6 days in advance, and so it'll be out probably tomorrow, real world for you and I, CJ, tomorrow. So it'll be well out for people to hear. It's Dr. Michael Lennox.
Tell us, for those who are just anxiously awaiting, tell us what the takeaways are, main takeaways about the eclipse.
The takeaways are there are so many different astrological coincidences, in quotes, that are coming together to lead to like a time of super intentionality. Of this is the opportunity in our lifetime, bar none, to plant the seeds for what we want the rest of our lives to look like. He talks about how we all plant seeds. Farmer's Almanac, people have known this for centuries, if not millennia. You plant for the new moon. Well, a solar eclipse is by definition a new moon. Plus, 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 plus. It's a double new moon. There's something to do with Mercury. There's something to do with Leo. There's something to do with the nodes of the moon. All of these different things come together to make it like the super new moon of all super new moons. So if you want to plant seeds for the future of your life, now is the time to do it. And you don't have to be under the eclipse. You don't have to be in the totality, although that's cool. You just need to be on Earth, because all of Earth experiences the energies at this time of the eclipse. And it's beyond a once in a lifetime. It may be all of the things coming together, a once in all of humanity experience. So what he recommended is, and everybody has their own definition, and I want to hear yours on intentionality. He recommended what I call getting to the essence, which is not to try to put out the exact specifics of what you're wanting. You know, I want a Rolls Royce or a Ferrari or whatever it is with certain wheels and blah, 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 but to get the essence of what you want and put that out to the universe. So you want still that childlike joy, that enthusiasm, that creativity. You want freedom. You want excitement. You want spiritual growth. Even the I want, it sounds weird, but why not? Put it out there. That's how we get it. Put out the essence of those things. I know what we want as far as reaching people, whether that's a show, whether that's YouTube, whatever, it's a TV program, whatever that looks like. I know how we want to help people. I know what I want for a future family, just like you know what you want for the future of your family. Get that all down now. And I'd suggest write it down every morning, just like you're doing. Every morning leading up to the eclipse, get it down. Now, this show will only be out for a few days until the eclipse, but it's this time period. So you don't have to hit the nail on the head and go, well, I heard this the day after, a week after the eclipse, it's too late. No, this is sowing seeds for the lifetime. So as soon as you hear this, get your intentions down on paper, write them down, get clear, put that emotional state behind it. Now, you and I are doing this a week and a half before the eclipse. Get it down each and every day. So that's like our number one thing right now is how intentional can we plant the seeds for our future. And then the energy of the eclipse is going to just amplify them, I believe, from what I'm told, to the max. And it certainly could only do good.
Wow, fascinating. Wow, that's super exciting. Okay, got it. So what are some of the ones that what are your intentions? Your generalized, not specific intentions, as I understand it.
Freedom. I think freedom is my biggest one. So I want to help the world. And that is my number one goal in life. I had 2 near-death experiences. I'm still here. I'm still kicking. There has to be a reason for it. And I believe it's both to help people and experience life to the fullest. So I want to help people in every way I can. And I want to have the fun and freedom and enjoyment and creativity and ability to do that. So freedom is huge for me because it's too easy for me to create something quote-unquote awesome and then box myself into that. I mean, I did that when it was a 7-day-a-week show. We've backed off to a 5-day-a-week show, and we'll tinker from there as well. But I want freedom first and foremost because I want to be the daddy who doesn't miss a single thing of my kid's life. I want to be there for the first steps, for the first words, or the first signs, for the first tooth, for the first everything, rather than daddy is away. So how do I balance those two? I don't have a clue. I'll put them down there. I'll put it out there. I want over the top prosperity so that I can give away tons and tons of money to whatever I want to help people. I see it as a vehicle for change and growth on the planet. So I want to be very, very wealthy to help people. I want the freedom. I want the reach to be able to do that. I want the health to be able to do that. Because we often go and say, I want money, and I'll sacrifice my health now in order to get my wealth. And then as the expression goes, we then give away all of our wealth to try to reclaim our health. So no, I want over-the-top health now and moving forward for myself, for Jessica, for our kitty cats, for our future kids.
I like all of those things. I didn't add the health, and I have a spiritual goal to awaken my heart and to have let go and surrender to the universe and its will versus my own will. Those are my spiritual ones, and I like the health ones too. I'd like to add those to mine. Is it too late?
No, it's not too late, and I don't write it down enough, so I'm appreciating.
After the eclipse, can we still be manifesting, or is it like 21st, it's over?
I don't believe so. I didn't ask him that specific question, but this sounds like such a large geographic something event in the I want to say in the geography of time. This is such a big event that I don't think it's a whatever you got the minute that it passes by you, that's it. I don't think the universe works that way.
Okay, so here's one of my other ones. I realized I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, we were talking, she was talking about these workshops that she would like to start in Seattle. And I thought, well, that sounds, and I was trying to help her launch these workshops to introduce her to friends of mine who she could actually meet and be part of, and to launch these workshops on culture. And as I talked to her, I was like, I think I would like to do this with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we were both saying, she's like, oh, that would be so fun, because then we could do our workshops, and on the side we could do shamanism and stuff like that. And I said, no, I think actually would be so much fun is to actually, and this has been an intention and goal that I've had, is to bring all parts of myself into my work, because it feels so weird to have this deep spiritual side.
Totally.
And then also, like, and I have my corporate side, and I've been slowly merging those two together. But it was this week that I did a workshop for some college students, and I brought my drum.
Awesome. Yay.
And I had drumming, and it was kind of scary. And because it was scary because it's hard to describe these other ways of navigating life that I know are very powerful, but are hard to explain to the rational mind. And when you have students, you know, who are in college, they're very much in their rational, logical mind. And so, I had to explain the drum as a way to get into, I had to describe the neuroscience of using the drum and how it relaxes you and allows you to access different parts of your brain, like stuff like that, because I couldn't just say, well, the shaman, this helps you convene with your spirit, right? That's basically what it's doing. And, but I couldn't really say that, but I did drum in public, and I did it for about, an hour and a half, and people liked it. They said that it helped them relax. It helped them provide white noise. It helped them feel calm, because the questions were really hard that I was asking. And so it helped them feel more relaxed, calm. And at the end, they're like, wow, I'm super chill right now. I'm like, yes. So that's my intention, to actually have all parts of me show up at work. What are your spiritual goals?
That's an awesome, awesome question. I think it's because you planted the seed unity, all of those pieces clipping along together. I just want to be guided on the spiritual side of things. There's so much I want to learn that I don't know, but even the word learning, and I do want to learn all these things, has some sort of head aspect to it. I guess I want to remerge with source. What is the best way to put it?
One with source for me. That's how I would put it. I want to be one
with source, and I want to act from that place. I believe I have a very, very big platform in this lifetime, that we are just scratching the surface of where this is going to go. And I want this to be source-led, source-guided, source-spoken every step of the way. I don't pretend to know what that looks like. I'm okay with that. But I know I don't miss that meditation and my automatic writing. I don't miss that for anything, because I want to be guided each step of the way and stay in that flow.
I like that. And what are your goals with your coaching and groups that you want to do?
I can only speak short term. I can't say what it's going to look like long term, because I don't pretend to know how it all fits in the long term. For instance, I believe we'll have New York Times bestsellers, and that's part of my intention. It feels like the natural part of the flow. If everybody listening to this bought one book, we'd be like having #1 New York Times bestsellers right there. And I want great books for people, not just to put out anything. So I don't know what that balance of time looks like, but I do know that I will always coach, and that is something special and sacred to my heart. There is a part of me that wants to coach people on the highest level, meaning world leaders in every aspect, so that they will help other people. Those will help other people. I want to see what we can do, what Jessica and I can do, what the three of us can do, what we can do to make the biggest ripple on this planet. And I think it's really, and it was something that Michael Lennox talks about. Actually, it was something that Anadea Judith was talking about yesterday, who is a chakra expert, who was talking about how we're going from third chakra as humanity to fourth chakra. So we're going from kind of solar plexus to heart. And the theme that's been coming up in my life and working with coaching clients has been that of the open-hearted warrior. And I believe I'm in a fairly, I don't know if unique's the right word, I have just the right alchemy to help share that with the world of how to be. I'm very open-hearted. You can see my emotions. I wear them on my sleeve. Thankfully, it's woohoo a lot, but it's not always.
Right.
But knowing I'm willing to share and drop my guard, and out of being vulnerable, I believe comes my strength. And that's where I think all of humanity gets to go, is in our vulnerability.
It's funny. When I was thinking about, you were talking about groups and and as you were talking about all of this, it just reminds me of flow. You know, it's basically allowing, and you had said it earlier, the idea of flow. And, you know, you always do group coaching, but what will flow forward when you merge with the divine is something that I'm realizing, because for myself too, like what happens, I think, when you are open to listening to the messages and doing channeling in the morning and just being very much a listener, what happens is just pure magic happens. Like people, like I don't, like you had said, I don't know what's going to happen. And I actually don't know what's going to happen either. Like for whatever reason, in the last couple years, people who are spiritual helpers, meaning I had a shamanic teacher who just finished a program and she had work that she needed to do herself in order to be on her way. And so I was teaching a shamanic teacher who spent like 4 or 5 years of her life learning this stuff. So it's kind of amazing that it's kind of a huge honor to actually have someone to coach like that and coach other millennials who are having these deep spiritual experiences and they're awakening and not knowing what to do. I just had one yesterday of someone who's awakening to something beautiful and is hitting a fear point, and we were talking about that. Yeah. So it's interesting because something is happening to the world where people are moving more into their hearts, and I think as a result, it's important to, and when they do that, it's kind of scary sometimes. I mean, it's beautiful and enriching. And then as you open up, Pete said, I feel like I'm opening up so quickly, which I've had that experience. Both you and I have had this sense of openness. And for me, at least, what happens is when I open too quickly, too fast, or the corresponding fear, and my ego goes, like, it has like an equal opposite reaction.
An oh crap response.
Yeah. I have the oh crap response, and it's about, you know, when we open up our hearts, how can we continue opening up and know that fear is going to come back in an equal and opposite reaction, but how can we maintain that openness despite all of that happening? And as people are moving from their third to their fourth chakra, I think that's something that we're all going to have to face. You know, people are listening to a show, they're opening up. They're listening to my show, they're opening up, right? And the minute they open up, the minute they have their aha moment, right, there's going to be a, no, that's silly. What are you doing? Your friends are going to like that. What? That's so stupid. How are you going to make money? Like all that stuff just kind of, and it's about how you can be cognizant, because some of those things are real, but at the same time not be shrunken. Does that make sense? That seems to me maybe some of what I think is happening, that I'm feeling is happening when I'm talking to other people.
Basically, what you and I and many others are here to do is help people make it through this transition and to usher in this new time, because it can be really scary. We were told, you and I were taught, and even the millennials are taught, to think with their head, not to lead with their heart. And when they open up, and millennials open up to an extreme because they're coming in different. They're coming in really, really different. It really is a holy crap. This world is not at all what I thought it was. What do I do with it? And that's happening. That's where the majority of our clients are coming from. People saying, I want to live a different way now. How in the world do I do this?
Interesting. Yeah. So I think it's a lot of exciting things. Like as this new moon is coming, and as a society, if we're actually also putting out intentions as a society, I hope that the person you interviewed was right. I hope that we are going to be moving more into our hearts, because the current way is not working.
I see it coming. I see it coming left, right. I am very bullish on the future, because I see massive change. Look, we're all completely connected. You can reach just about anyone, anywhere. At most, people are what? 2 degrees off from anybody. I know at least with the show, we're 1 degree off most from anybody. Anybody in the world. Never in humanity have we been so close to everybody else. And we can go on Google and get whatever information we want at any point. That's massive. That didn't occur just now by accident. We are becoming a one species, and the only way to make it through on a planet where we're driving the thing blindfolded and drunk is and we put liquor in the tank instead of the gas. So is to take off the blinders and say, wait, we've got to do this together. The only way we can do it together is to drop down into our hearts. And I'm seeing people popping in the most beautiful way, left, right, and center. I'm convinced at least half, if not all of our audience, is going through this and saying, there's another way to live. I don't know what it looks like. It goes against my programming. My subconscious is giving me the B slap, but there has to be another way to do it. I'm speaking personally here, CJ.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I want to hear a little bit more about your other personal stuff that's going on. So number 4 is great. Kayaks. So what are you doing with the kayak, just to close on the Eclipse thing?
So what we're doing, and we're going back and forth, whether it's going to be Georgetown, South Carolina, or whether it might even be, I have a coaching client in Columbia. She just mentioned it yesterday. I looked it up on the map, and I'm going, wow, that's like in the center of the totality. So the totality of the eclipse isn't just the sun going away. It's the sun getting 100% perfectly covered by the moon, which is perfectly exactly the same size as the shadow of the sun. Distance-wise, it's so miraculous. It's not a coincidence that it perfectly covers the sun, that all of a sudden these rays of light shoot out, the corona of the sun. They call it the diamond ring. The world goes silent. The stars come out in the day. It's completely pitch black. The animals go silent. And for about 2 minutes, you lose your mind. You're just...
What?
Well, you're in a state of awe or rapture, or you're just not there. They say for photographers, get your camera ready, practice in advance, because you will go stupid when it happens. Because when it goes from night to day, and you see light shooting out all around the sun, you're not going to think clearly. It is the most incredible, special, blissful... I cried just watching it. It's called The Totality. It's a documentary on Amazon, and I can't help but bawl when I see the footage on there. It is so unworldly. It's something out of your dreams or out of a ceremony, but it's real.
So do you want to know where I will be? You guys are going to be, it looks like you're trying to figure out where you're going to be. I'm going to be in a plane.
If your path crosses, there is no better place, and that's how they start the movie.
I know, that's what I heard, that like everyone, actually, the people who are super into this go on a plane. So we'll be flying from west to east coast. You're following the course.
You understand, you're at Washington, where it starts, going to North Carolina, and it finishes just south of you in South Carolina. You may experience the longest totality that literally anybody in the world could experience.
I know. They're actually we aren't exactly on the course. We're about 2 hours different, so we won't be at 100% of the eclipse, but we'll be like 80 to 90% of the eclipse, and we're not flying exactly. They've actually done maps where people who are really into this stuff are taking their specific flights that are chartered to see the 100%, like to just follow along while there's 100% eclipse. So that sounds pretty cool. But we're going to be, 80 to 90% there as we're traveling along, right around a couple hours around. So we probably, again, not at 100%, but we'll be in the clouds. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of eyewear I need to get in order to look at it.
I would get the protective glasses to be safe, because they say if it's anything but 100%, that it can damage your eyes. I don't know what reality is, but we're going to take that precaution. So I mean,
I don't know where
like
to get them.
$5 on Amazon. So you can get like a 3 or 4 pack for $10.
Okay, I'm going to have to go get those. Just hopefully I can get them on Prime and get them soon enough to get them. Okay, so you guys are going to be on an eclipse, or in a kayak, or where are you going to be?
Yeah, we want to be on the water. So solar eclipse is fire. So and we want to balance that with water. And I don't want to be in all the hordes of the crowds. It's so crazy so far from what it sounds like that, for instance, you can't find a hotel room 90 to 100 miles from Columbia, and probably from any other town that's in the 60-mile wide swath all along the totality. And so I imagine it's going to be people everywhere. Who knows what the hype will turn out, but my guess is it will be people everywhere. So we want to put ourselves on the water, a little bit quieter, a little bit calmer. I am a photographer at heart, but I'm not going to worry about it. There are going to be so many great photos out there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just want to experience it, and experience the connection literally between heaven and earth and water, and just to be in the stillness of it. So that's the goal. Now, it's a little bit unnerving, and this has to do with intentionality, is I've never been to either of these towns before. I don't get to visit in advance. And it could be crazy those days. So you have your plans. You do the best you can. Of course, I was so happy to hear Dr. Michael Lennox talking about, even if you don't see it, the magic of intentionality can still take place. Because some of us, unfortunately, may have clouds. Now, it may be that all the clouds burn off and the whole continental U.S. is cloud-free, and I wish that on the 21st. But if not, it's still special. It's still sacred. Yeah. And I think that's so important for people to hear, for myself and my soul to hear as well. Yeah,
that's super cool. All right, so there's other things on your list, like
so the show
Frank and Women? Number 4. What's going on?
You wrote Frank and Women. I didn't write Frank and Women.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, I know what it is.
I have no idea what this is.
Oh. That was you. Okay, so what that is, I'll just explain it since it popped up and I thought it was you. It was me. It was me to remember that when we were talking about what's emerging, so as these things are leaving and departing and emptying, it's allowing other things to come in. And there's a kind of a glimmer of what's to come. And so I'm going to be facilitating a workshop for Frank. That's why he's on there. And I just met this woman.
There's some sort of Freudian slip
we decided that based on conversations that you and I have had about women and mothers and women wanting to go back to work, or mothers, or millennials, like all those kind of conversations, I'm starting to develop workshops for those audiences, young women who are in the workforce and trying to navigate that, and women who have are empty nesters and considering going back to work. So those are the new things that are kind of opening up based on this radio show. Like you saying, like, people have made those comments, people want that. And so like, okay, well, I'm going to offer it.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's funny because I described that, I pray, I think I've told you this before, I'm praying like, universe, please give me guidance. And then I get the guidance from you going like, yeah, women like this, they need help. It's not the first time I've heard that. And finally, I'm like, okay, you just have to decide. Like, just either do it or don't do it, but, decide. So I've decided to do it,
awesome.
Finally.
And that's like, we've got our Inspire Nation Baby show coming up. And so we've talked about that, and Jessica's been chomping at the bit. She was talking about that back on Maui years ago of interviewing experts for conscious conception and conscious pregnancy. And she got the URL many years ago, mindfullypregnant.com. So now we'll be
smart.
doing that. Yay. Woohoo!
Yay. Okay, so what's happening for your radio show now that I know that Franken Women is actually mine?
The radio show, usually what I'm told is that shows go quiet over the summer. We had discussed last summer that wasn't quite the case. Well, we've hit Gazunga land again. And the show has had another brick go in the locomotive, and it's like, whoo, taken off. Like we, at this point, there are more guest requests coming in than we can possibly handle. And of top level, so amazing. That's been incredible. We've gotten pitches for all of these different things left, right, and center. And I imagine just the right business proposal or something. I still see the TV show coming. I'm putting that out there to the universe. I'd be surprised if it doesn't come.
New Moon, bring Michael a TV show.
Woohoo! Thank you. And then I don't know if it's occurred before, because I know the show has done really well, but I was just on iTunes this morning, and I typed in the search bar, self-help. And of all the shows worldwide, we're number 4. Oh, so I thought that was pretty cool.
That's super cool.
You know, I'm like, Google, we're top 10, which is awesome. And I don't know which is more powerful, Google or iTunes. But then number 4, I was like, what a beautiful, beautiful number. And we just keep going up and keep going up.
Yay.
So it's been this slow and steady growth of focusing on doing what we're doing. It's not... Jessica's been not hounding me, but she's been pointing out to me lately, and we'll get to have a marketing guru. She's like, it's 20% product, it's 80% marketing. And so far we've had a 0 marketing presence. So we will get to improve that. I imagine the right person is going to magically appear, and we're going to pick that up. But to get to number 4 on grassroots without any marketing at all. I love our Facebook page. People, I apologize. I still am a little bit Facebook challenged.
You're actually way better than I am, but yes, I get it. And that even without marketing, it's just, I think it's because there's just such a strong, pure intention that, you know, the universe is responding. The universe is giving you a high five. Yes. You are meant to do this platform. Keep on going, and we're going to have you discovered by a TV show because they'll find you as number 1 on the self-help show, you know, self-help on iTunes. It'll just happen. It will happen.
Thank you. Yeah, if one thing has come through this experience, and I actually gave her a name this morning, her. It was just funny to call her Sue. There's this wiring in me that I still haven't fully gotten.
Wiring in you?
Wiring.
Did you? Okay.
So wiring, subconscious. We all have our subconscious challenges. So I guess I'm kind of dovetailing. The beginning part of it is, even despite my wiring, I have the most incredible confidence that this is going someplace immensely crazy special that I'm not even in control of. And I can kick back and just do what I do. And it's going there. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to sweat it. Just like our coaching docket has completely filled and continues to completely fill now. I don't have to worry about these things. It just magically happens. And so we will continue to grow. So it's been really special. With that said, my subconscious, like everybody else's, you know, pulls out the rubber hose and gets busy on us now and again. And I was taught...
Is that Sue?
That apparently... I'm coming up with a term, either Sue or sup. I haven't decided yet. I was just thinking about this morning. I was taught, I've probably mentioned on the show before, I was gifted with wiring. My mom taught me growing up that you never mention the positive. That if you mention the positive, you'll be smoted by God. It is the worst thing that you can do.
Oh, so wow.
If I was to say, I'm going to do great on that test today. No, my God, Michael, no, don't say that.
Oh, wow. So, she's like the anti-manifester.
she was taught that if you do that, something bad happens. So I love my mom so much, but she loves the Patriots and the Red Sox. She's lives just north of Boston, and during any game for Patriots Red Sox, I guess it was the playoffs this year, she's hiding in the bedroom because she knows if she watches the game, then she's going to ruin it for her team and they're going to lose. I love you so much, Mom. But that was the
her name Sue?
Skill. No. We're getting there. That was the manifesting skills that I got. Was that if you say anything positive, something bad's going to happen. It was way beyond a knock on wood. And so when things are going well, my subconscious starts to get real nervous, a knock-kneed. And that's been the work I've gotten to do on. And I've done tremendous amount of work, which allows me to help coaching clients. And I still get to do more work. My subconscious still wants to come out to play with what's called the screw up, SU. And I don't know whether to call it SU or call it sup, like the sup, the screwed up come out to play, or call it Sue for SU has come out to play when things are going great. Cracking up here. So like this morning, everything is going great. And yet there's something in me that says, did you screw everything up again? And I'll go, what in the world? Where does that come from? And so I feel like calling it, saying Sue has come out to play, or Sup has come out to play, something to label it to say, I am not my thoughts. I am not that wiring. Right.
And it's very hard when that happens, though, because it's so primal. It's so wired in. It's so in the beginning of the show, I was writing this document and I was in a different headspace, a little bit in a melancholy headspace. And you're like, CJ, do 10 boohoos. And what I did, though, is I before, when you said that, I was like, I am. Like, my mind's in a different place. It's in this kind of like, woe is me place. And because that's part of what I'm trying to process, right? If I don't recognize and process it, it's not like it goes away. I have to recognize, accept that it's there, and give it space to talk and to dialogue, which I've been doing. And when you said that, I was like, oh, I need to be back in my heart. So when you said to like that, I kind of, and you were working on some stuff, I was just breathing in. It's called 2-part breath. Have you ever heard of this? You do breathe in and you imagine the energy coming in from your bottom of your spine or your coccyx all the way up through the back. And then you breathe into your heart, and then you kind of expand your heart and you open it. And then it's just like you're just imagining your heart opening like a fire. And then you exhale a little bit, and then you breathe in. And then you have your heart expand as your belly expands. And then you hold that for as long as you can, 10 seconds minimally, and then you exhale. And then you just let the cycle go back and forth and back and forth. And it's just getting back into your heart and getting back into the woohoos, because I think it's just so, I think that's what, when Sue comes out to play, I think maybe that's
Isn't it crazy? I'm calling her a girl, but I'm saying it's not me, so.
When Sept comes up.
I was thinking of it. Is it Hank Williams' song? Is it Willie Nelson? Which one sang it? A Boy Named Sue.
Yeah. Johnny Cash.
Johnny
Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe, when a boy named Sue shows up, you can just snap, because here's the thing, the wisdom that I've heard from people who are more adept than I am at doing this is that the minute it comes up, you don't analyze it, you don't think about it, you don't go into it, you just...
And don't feed it.
Don't feed it. Don't feed the monster. Just... And because, the idea that you can snap into joy, that joy and love and light is always there. It never leaves you. You leave it. So if you can just snap into like, Sue's here, you're like, Doing yeah, exactly. Just, so instead of like, okay, why is Sue here? Why is Sue here again? What do you want, Sue? Where are you going? Why have you arrived again? What is it that you want from me? Like, this is what I used to do, and now, and there's a lot of merit in that, I think, in some ways, because your mind starts like playing in and like, okay, I get it. So I can actually fight mind with mind. So I understand where the mind is going. Therefore, I can have a conversation with Sue and say, I know, Sue, you're thinking about this, but here's some other things to think about. Now, have we had a mediation? Like, if so, then we're good. So that's certainly an approach that works, but I like the idea of like Sue comes in like, anyways, Michael, I have another whoop. Or
to the back of the car. Sue, put on your dunce cap, sit in the corner. I'll get you when I'm ready, and it won't be this lifetime.
Yeah, and I don't know. I frankly, I'm a little bit mixed about the whole thing, because on one, I have almost too much information in my head, because on one level, I've had the experience of talking to Sue and rationalizing with Sue and dialoguing with Sue and creating a peace agreement. And I know that that works. I also know that, you were able, and we were both able to snap ourselves out of, you were like playing around with your technology, and I was like, in writing mode, and we were both able to snap out of it, right? So that also works. Mm-hmm. And so the part of me that's confused is the part that says, you need to accept what is, sadness is there. It's there, right? And so not to fast forward past it, not to smack a smiley face on it, but to go, oh, sadness has arrived. Mm-hmm. Okay. Feel it. I'm aware of it. Woohoo! Like maybe that's my compromise position, is recognize, appreciate, accept, and then at the same time know that you can choose joy and freedom at any moment. You are a choice.
Absolutely. There's the Native American story, and we've heard so many authors put it in their books, but it's still worth repeating, of the little boy who's told by the grandfather that that you have a wolf on each shoulder. You have like a good wolf and a grumpy, upset, scared wolf, and they're doing battle. And I'm not big into battle, but as an open-hearted warrior, okay, I'll roll with this. And the little boy says to the grandfather, to the elder, which wolf wins? And he says, whichever you feed.
Yeah.
So you acknowledge, I have two wolves here. Great. Perfect. I get it. Don't stuff one wolf down. You don't have to do that. It will come back up with a vengeance. Recognize it. Acknowledge it. But don't feed it.
Right. So do you say, oh, look, hungry wolf is there, bad wolf or evil wolf is there, or dunce cap or sup, it's like, you're here. Wow. Hi. Interesting that you're here.
I take it one step further, and I'll say, I wonder why she's shown up today. What was it that triggered this? I like to know what the trigger is, because I think that gives me a glimpse, more of an understanding into the workings going on. If my knees start getting wobbly and I'm like, I feel like I screwed something up. What did I do? What did I do? I don't need to know what I did. What I need to know is where did that come from? What planted that seed this morning that's making me feel that way? Because that'll help me work on it in the future. And then let's drop it cold. What I don't want to do, for instance, in my head, I'm really good at working through things, as strange as that sounds. As soon as I bring it out of me, I give it way too much of a life. So if I say, Sue, or whatever we're going to call her or him or it, we'll figure that out, that the screw-up gene has come out to play. If I say that in my head, I'll go, okay, where is it coming from? What do I want to do about it? All right, great, let's not feed it. If I tell Jessica, the screw-up gene has come out to play, all of a sudden, bad stuff starts to come out of me. Like this whole negative filter starts to come out of me that wasn't in dialogue that was playing in my head. I just happened to start feeding the wolf. I gave it too much attention by even giving it words, by giving it a resonant, by giving a frequency. Instead, I think if I label it as a screw-ups come out to play, drop it, we're good. Sue's come out to play, I'm not giving it to Sue. But if I was to say, Sue's come out to play, and she's saying that, blurb, blurb, I'm a blurb, blurb, and I'll be like, what the? I'm not the only neurotic out there, CJ.
Okay, I'll tell you my equivalent this morning. I woke up and I went to Starbucks for coffee. I woke up at 5:30 today. Why, I have no idea, but I was just a little bit amped up because Jada's leaving in 10 days. So I wake up and I go get coffee, and it's like the first time I've ever ordered coffee in my life. Like, I don't know this. They're asking me the size. They're asking, I can barely talk, and I was like, "What the heck is happening to me?" And all this is happening before I have to be on a coaching call. Like 2 seconds after, I'm going to be coaching someone and trying to manifest their greatness, and I can't even order coffee. I can't pay for the coffee.
I get it.
I can't order the coffee, and I was like, "What the hell's happening to me?" So I'm sitting in the Starbucks line, like, what the hell is happening to me? I'm about to need to go into talking to a client, and I can't even perform basic things. I can't even, words don't even come out of my mouth properly. So I think, what the hell's happening to me? What's going on? Mm-hmm. And I thought, nope, I'm up right now. I'm effed up right now. And I thought, no, don't go there. Just don't go there. Just don't go there. So I'm like, you're fine. You're fine. Sit down and focus on the coaching call. So I sit down and I focus, and it's like a little rough start. Like, I feel like I'm kind of like on a bumpy road. I'm like talking, and I'm like trying to, like I'm trying to talk to her, and I'm still a little bit discombobulated. I'm like, I can't even listen that carefully. And I was like, okay, just calm down. Just it will come. So I'm calming myself down. I'm finally getting to the point that I can write things down, and it just comes. I turn it off. I don't feed it. I know that it's there. I don't feed it until the very end of the session. I was like, oh, I know. It's because I was writing beforehand, and I didn't take the closure of the writing process. So I was really much in my head processing, and so I didn't do the close of that and then start anew. But I guess it's very similar. I actually had to diagnose, and I didn't do it during the session because I can't, because the client has paid me to do this work. Yeah, so I'm focusing on her, not perfectly, but as much as I could. And then at the end, I said, hey, I hope that, I had a little bit of problems at the first focusing, and I realized it's because I was writing, so I apologized. And she's like, oh, I did not notice at all. But, it was still, so I had that moment too, and I actually used the same formula. So, yeah, so that was good. My husband just popped in his head like, so, which means I've got to wrap it up soon. So what's going on? What are the final words that you want to have during this auspicious time of the new moon, the most incredible new moon ever?
Dream so outrageously big it scares you to your knees. And use that as the starting point of your dreams, then dream even bigger. And just like you're talking about writing, I'm talking about write a letter to yourself, mail it to yourself. That would be the coolest thing. That's going to be my homework assignment. Write a letter to yourself today after you read this and mail it to yourself, either for after the eclipse. Heck, set it for you for next month when we're a full moon cycle away from this. Get the intentions down on paper. But no matter what your subconscious, no matter what your Sue tells you, dream outrageously big. Get to the essence of it. What's it going to feel like? What's it going to mean for me? What's it going to mean for my family? What's it going to mean for my development, for my growth, for my time left here? If you are at the end of your life and you're on your deathbed, what do you want to say about your life? Get that down. This is such, no matter when you're listening to this, this is such an important exercise to do now, right away, so that you can live intentionally for your future.
Love it. Woohoo! The best ending ever.
All right, that's all I've got. Anything else, CJ?
I am good.
So for everyone out there, this is Michael Sandler and
CJ Lou
saying, be well, have fun, get those intention down, and if you're hearing it beforehand, enjoy the most amazing eclipse and shine bright. Woohoo! Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like below. Also, leave your comments. Have some real fun with it. Subscribe to our channel where you're going to get more great videos, more interviews coming up. And check out our website, inspirenationshow.com. That's where you'll find tips, blogs, information, videos you won't find anywhere else, and useful and helpful resources to really help you kickstart your life and to shine bright. Thanks so much again. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe. See the website. Thanks so much and have fun. Of course, shine bright. Woohoo!